Pretty imposing structure. And this is also, I think this is where the Amtrak and the Metrolink and all them come here too, so I'm not exactly sure where the museum is, but we're going to find out, I'll betcha. All right, typical of a depot, nice and echoey. Oh, pretty cool. HO layout here. And this is the Greyhound, Amtrak, and Metrolink. And that is to the women's restroom. Back up to out here in the platform. Beautiful portico. This place is really big. San Bernardino, or as call it out here, San Bernardino. The intermodal facility there. Doesn't look like they're doing anything right now. See that over there. Well, maybe they'll be working on this one over here later. We'll see. But anyway, we have to go down a little further to go in the museum. So let's go check that out. Okay, we are in the museum proper. We finally found the right door. And you know my love of books. I'll have to check those out before I leave. There's my honey bunny. Making sure they know that we were here. But yeah, looks like pretty cool so far. Bunch of Santa Fe stuff. Intermodal here. I'm trying not to get in anybody's way. It's not real crowded here, but there are some people trying to get in and out, and I stand right in front of the door. Now, I don't know. I think this track here is the Metrolink or whatever the light rail is. I mean light rail, but I don't know, it might be. But there's the tower there where you can cross and go over out to that platform over there. Baggage room, mail division superintendent. they will see there, they're that curve where they're curving off to the left there. That'll head north along Interstate 215 and up into up into the Cajon Pass, which is in those mountains. Actually, the Cajon Pass is actually kind of over there. But those are the San Gabriels that it goes through, the San Gabriel Mountains. Over there, see that smokestack, the Santa Fe on it. I don't know exactly what that was for, but a lot of railroads and their larger facilities had their own foundries. Perhaps that's what that was. If you know, drop in the comments below. I may find out in the museum. If I do, I'll text it here. Okay, here's a dispatcher's board here, and it says that, yeah, Merced, which is up in the Central Valley, north of Fresno, Mormon, Escalon, Riverbank, yeah, those are all stations up north on the BNSF now. You can see these levers here, these little, the dispatcher would flip it back and forth or to normal or reverse the switches. And then they have the left or right signals, whether if they were in the center position, they were at stop. If they wanted to clear the left, which would be, I don't know, BNSF, left is one direction, say northbound or westbound, and the R signals would be the signals in the opposing direction. Very cool. These may have been, these are probably operators' boards at specific stations. Could be dispatchers, could have just been operators. Mojave, when they had the interlocking, which is kind of what this looks like. This came from an interlocking, and an operator would have taken care of that interlocking. This agent's office here, telegrapher. Seen the one at the Tehachapi Depot. They actually have a roll top desk, and the rather than being the bay window like this, the one in Southern Pacific generally had the ones that just stuck out at right angles to the depot, to the building. Hear Audrey over there not being happy. Southern Pacific deal here with a lot of SP stuff. Signal test equipment down there, phones, and see those phones down there with the clips on them. You could hook those clips onto a telephone wire, or you could have one at one end of a cable and another at the other end of a cable, as long as you were on the same wires, the same polarities. You could turn an underground cable into a telephone. You climb up on a pole and hook that up, tap right into the company phone or whatever phone line was up there, I suppose. But yeah, we used to use them for measuring cable. Mission Tower. That was a big interlocking. I can't remember exactly where. I'm sure a bunch of you are going to remember, and you can let me know. Kite-shaped track. That was a tourist line. It went out into the around Redlands and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. G and S scale trains. The Sissy. I guess it was a bar. couple of searchlights, signals there. Color lights, upper quadrant semaphore, upright wig wag. I will link the tour of these signals that I did at the Tashby Museum, which are all working signals. I will link that in the description below. ESP stuff, big boy. Here's something that's cool. I did these, by the time I went to work for the railroad, you didn't have to have certified watches anymore, but at one time you did, and they had to be inspected and serviced on a regular basis to make sure they were keeping time properly. I don't remember what the parameters were, but it was just, it could only be off a couple of seconds a month, I think. I love watches and clocks. See? Model layout here. As most of you know, I am not a model railroad. I don't know much about it. But they have a few different scales here. Couple of Style B cases. The shops, they used to be here. Get that glare off of it, and you know. Sorry about the glare. There might be anything I can do about it, but aerial views of the yard here. Roundhouse was built in 1908. So this one is before 1923. This one is after 1923, and this one is in the 40s. Views of the yard. This was a huge, still a huge facility, but turntable, and had the engine shops here, locomotive shops, oil tanks, coaling towers. They had everything that a yard required. These are taken in the 40s. This one is 1960. And 1993. Kachina dolls. Dad has a huge Kachina doll collection, but one of the motifs of the Santa Fe was Southwest, and some of the other Native American poster art. I actually have a couple. My dad has a collection of Santa Fe posters, and they are not reproductions, and I've talked him out of a couple of them that I have mounted in my house, framed and mounted. I didn't realize a while ago that you can actually operate these trains. It says slow on the thing, but I don't think you can, it does what it wants to do. That's funny. That's very cool. Awesome. That one over there too. That is, it says S gauge, and this one's 027. They look the same to me. There are trains going by, just one right after the other. Metrolink was just here. Union Pacific goes through here as well. One of their trains just went by. This is their connection from East LA up the Cajon Pass to Barstow, and then to Daggett, where they split off and go to the north into Vegas. And again, I know nothing about this yard, so I don't know if he's heading into a receiving track or leaving track or what. But he's doing something. That is certain. Anyhow, just a little theater here. Doing the thing on the big boy right there. But, seen some other stuff on it through the course of while we're here. Firefighting equipment. Oh, I climbed up here in the bridge across for pedestrians. Folks on Metro and Amtrak and whatnot. Get a shot of the yard. It's got this steel protective wire so people can't fall out or jump out. That's looking out across the intermodal facility there. And looking east. Metrolink, or yeah, this is a Metrolink. You know, I said earlier that yeah, they use this track. They seem to use these two tracks right below me. The two tracks over there are dead tracks. They end right there. But, these both of these tracks here. Well, he said the heck with people on the platform. He's just going to keep going. Alright, well, not as dramatic or as colorful as a freight manifest, but I do need to get going. So we'll check out with the Metrolink. Coming in from the east, headed for LA Union Station. And now freight goes by on the other track. That's all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the San Bernardino Historical and Railroad Museum. Always enjoy doing these things, and I hope you enjoy watching them. So here are the URLs to my PayPal and my Patreon. If you could help support the channel that way, I'd sure appreciate it. Keep shooting me the ideas. Drop me comments below. Shoot me an email at motorpoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. And we'll see you all later.